Okay. Good morning, guys. Well done.
Yes.
Aisha, are you here?
Share my
No?
screen.
Okay.
Hello. Is it connecting?
Hello.
Hello. Hear us now?
Put your video on.
You want to show us your work quickly, and then we can have a look and see what you've been up to for this week.
Please put your video on. Please put your video on.
So there you go. We can see now.
This week I sort of just improved my sectional drawings, and I added the fountain and some things. I kind of struggled with doing the fountain and stuff because it was kind of hard to draw, so it doesn't look that great. But yeah, so I added some texture and different heights and stuff like that to make it more accurate, I guess.
I think the water looks very realistic because it's like splashing around, especially on that right corner. It looks good. Yeah, and I love how you use watercolor. So just keep going.
Yeah, adding color is really important to your design, so big well done for that as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, Maria loves the color.
Okay. So for her work improvement from last week, type into you really love the colors. So Marion says she really loves the colors. How do you make the trees? Do you have any tips on how to make the trees?
Oh no, no tips on how to make the trees.
I just use a small paintbrush and do it that way.
Okay. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the workshop and let me know when you can see it, okay? Okay. Let me just...
It's all about practice, guys. So if you wanna use paintbrush, start, and it's try and error, and then try again.
Yep.
Green. I shall turn green. I have done green.
Hey, can everyone see the screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So welcome to Archimake week 4 of our park design workshop. We're going to do a little bit of a recap. So today's term aim was to design your own park. And last week you designed a public water feature. So who remembers what a public water feature is?
A public water feature is what? Or
let me open the chat. If anyone wants to tell me in the chat, you can tell me in the chat too.
A public water feature is something that includes anything that has water, so it can either be a fountain or drinking station or swimming pool.
Yeah, perfect.
But it has to include water in it.
but that's just not the water feature, obviously.
Yeah, so we learned how fountains can serve a function and they can be designed for play, decoration, create a dramatic effect. They can be fun and interactive, so they don't have to be just visual. And they can be used to cool hot and dry air in the summer. So it can add humidity to a place or a setting in a park or in your garden. And we learned that water is a precious resource. And when designing water, we need to conserve the water we use and we need to make our design sustainable. Yeah. And through that, we used rainwater harvesting, which architects include in their designs. And these are just some examples of last week's designs from some other Archi makers. And you can see how they have the water features and how the water is used and how it's filtered and moves around the park and into the areas where their fountains are or where the water is. Okay, so your designs were drawn in perspective or plan or section, as you remember. And architects don't only draw their design on paper. What other way can you think of that architects draw their designs or show their
Represent their designs.
design? Adam, you want to tell me?
No, it's just I want to tell you something, but I'll tell you in the chat.
Okay, sure. So Amir is saying 3D prints. Yes. Yeah. Okay, Mariam saying design in PowerPoint. So they make presentations. They do. How else do they represent? They make models with card. Yes, so model making is a big part of architects' work when designing their whatever they're designing. If it's a certain feature or a structure or a building, making models helps them portray their idea in real life, in form. So model making. In addition to drawing, landscape architects can show designs in 3D through models. And this is a model by Erect Architecture. It is made of sticks, string, card, paint, and tree branches, as you can see. And then this is the finished landscape. How do you think the final design compares to the model? So you can see the similarities and differences within the model and the real life. Can anyone point something out for me?
The tree.
Yeah. So to show the
Climbing frame.
yes, and the climbing frame.
Mhm.
Let's see in the chat.
The swing, the basket swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tree and the rocks and the fence.
Okay, and this is another sketch model by Land Use Architecture of a playground in Regent's Park using sponge and wire. So they've used different materials and they've used wire to show the bridge. And then they've shown the sponge and everything to show the greenery and the grass, the trees. And then this is that area once it's been built. And you see how the design has changed slightly from the model, but you can still see the main elements such as the bridge, the greenery, the pathways.
Oh.
So models help you to develop your ideas as well. So I'm going to show you a small video that is going to let you know a little bit about how architects use model making and
Yay!
Yep. Let me just screen share that for you. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
A little bit about the creative process and making things with your hands today. I got into architecture because I wanted to be able to build models every day of my professional life. And it's actually what I thought architects spent most of their time doing. And although that's not entirely true, I definitely make time for making models as often as I possibly can. There's something really special about them. And in architecture practice today, they're actually somewhat exotic because most architects are relying on digital modeling and rendering tools, which are faster and they're easier to change and all these realistic materials. And my response to people who ask me, why do you even bother building physical models out of wood and cardboard clay at all anymore? We have access to these great tools. My response is always that I find I just get better results that way. I know this can kind of seem like anecdotal personal evidence that's just applicable to me, but there's actually scientific research that's been done that shows making things with your hands actually is linked to our thought process. It actually produces more efficient, more creative, and often more insightful results. This is proof that thinking isn't a task that just happens up here. It's not just relegated to the brain, but it also happens as sensory inputs from our environment. You know, if you think about if you've ever played Scrabble, what you do with the Scrabble tiles as you line them up. You know, you're looking at the letters here, but you're physically rearranging them. And, you know, sometimes that's by chance and sometimes that's intentional. But it's these collisions of the deliberate and the unexpected that produce some really great things. One of the things that making physical models allows you to do is step away entirely from the distraction of the digital environment. So moving away from the computer and picking up your pencil and sticks and wood and glue and tweezers. Doing this kind of distraction-free thinking is really valuable. There's a little space in our world for that right now. Something else, the end product is tangible. Models are these beautiful kind of little jewels, and I think they're really irresistible. You know, digital models just aren't endearing in the same way that your Instagram feed isn't something you'd probably frame on your wall. They just don't encourage you to engage with them in the same way that a physical model does. A model is this manifestation of your work. It's something you can hold in your hand. There's something really wonderful about that. You know, like sketches, they are open-ended. They suggest a multiplicity of solutions, not just one solution. You know, the finished rendering and the finished computer model suggest one singular solution. This suggests that the cladding could be metal, it could be wood, it could be any number of things. And, you know, I could spray paint this thing 16 different colors if I wanted to test, you know, what those solutions might do to the final form of it. You know, this idea about deliberate moves, deliberate design moves versus unexpected ones is really interesting to me too. And models allow for that to happen in an open exploration. I view these models as teaching tools. It's very difficult to fake the realities of construction, even with a tiny physical model like this. So if you build something here and it feels flimsy and start racking like this, you understand pretty quickly, okay, I need a shear panel here. I need to brace this wall from moving back and forth. And you get a real tactile sense of how materials go together, and what works and what doesn't. Building models is a practice that builds material intuition. And I just don't think there are very many ways to get that experience other than practicing in real life with real buildings and real materials where there's a lot more liability and a lot more risk and there's human safety involved. So building models is a really great teaching tool. Now, this is called metacognition, which is taking a moment to think about how you're actually thinking about a problem. And building models is models are a way of stepping back, reevaluating the problem, and asking yourself if you are asking all the right questions. Go out there and make things. Cheers, my friends. See you next time.
Okay, so guys, what did you pick up on through that video that you thought, wow, I really didn't know that. I really like that.
Interesting.
Let's ask anyone in the comments? Okay, so Mariam's saying, what he's saying is that when you're doing models online, you're not really making it yourself, you're tapping and making. So what he means is that
Somebody's making it for you if you make it online.
yes, so basically when you do digital models, you can't hold it, you can't see where you've added something and it might not be sturdy, whereas when you make it by hand, you'll know exactly where something is not sturdy, so you can add pieces, you can take pieces away a lot easier than if you were working on it digitally. Yep. So Anton saying models really help you to represent your ideas, but in a smaller scale. Yes, that's very true as well. So you can't say you make a huge, massive building in your design, but you want to show people what it looks like. So you have to scale it down. So that's a very good point, Anton. Anyone else? What else did you pick up on? What did you not know before, or anything that
Making models is good for your brain and good for your
Yeah.
and your eyes. And good for everything basically.
Okay, guys. All right, let's move on. So today's task, we are going to make a model of your design for a public water feature with rain harvesting from last week. So we're going to use the materials that you have. Yep. And we are going to use your baseboard. So your baseboard is going to be a flat piece of card that you are going to build on top of. Okay. So the baseboard, it shouldn't be cut. Okay. As you can see here, this is the baseboard and the model is sitting on top of this baseboard. Okay.
If you have a hilly kind of design, this is the base you're going to be building on top of.
Yeah.
So if they're like on this one, you're layering up on
Yeah.
top of the baseboard.
So if you have, like you say, you have a flat ground, then you can use a piece of paper to show the flat ground on top of the base, as you can see here. So this was the base, this is the pathways, which is another piece of paper, and then this is another green card, which shows the grass. So you can see that they built on top of the baseboard. Yeah, and anything else is going on top. Same with how Carolina said, any hills, any bumps in your paths, they need to be built on top of your baseboard, okay? Then we can use foil also on top of the baseboard to show those hilly elements. And you can use the foil to shape your ground as well. So if the ground isn't flat, try to use the foil. Okay, so it can be shaped into the structure of public water feature as well. So you can use foil to either shape your shape of the water feature or shape your water. So say you have a fountain and the water's falling outwards, you can use the foil to represent the water as well. Okay. Make sure you keep in mind how your model and the effect of gravity work for your water, okay? So keeping gravity in mind, you need to use the foil or the materials to show the water and the other elements of this. You can color them with felt tip pens if you want, and you can use them to show grass, tree, anything, because you can bend them and use them for anything you want. We can use link, which you can see here. You can also use scrap card to build up the ground of your model. So layers of card in decreasing size can be stuck together. This is called contour modeling. And as in with one base card, but to build a hill, they've made it much smaller and smaller and smaller.
Smaller and smaller and smaller.
Like a topographic map in 3D. Yes, Mariam, we can use watercolor pens.
Yep. Okay. You can also use a scale ruler. Does anyone know how to use a scale ruler?
Yes, I've got one, but I don't understand how to use it.
Okay, so we can run through it quickly. If you want, we can use a scale. It becomes easier to show scale in your model. So you can build your model in 1 to 50 scale. So 1 to 50 means something that measures 1 centimeter in your model is actually 50 centimeters in real life, 50 times bigger in real life. Okay, so say you have,
how many times bigger in real life?
If it's 1 to 50,
bigger.
it's 50 times bigger. If it's 1 to 100, it's 100 times bigger.
Yep. So for example, if you drew a line which is, say, 1 centimeter long, that would be 50 centimeters long in real life. So your building, say your wall is, I don't know, 4 meters long. So you draw 4 centimeters across. And that in real life would be 50 times 4, so 200 centimeters. There'll be 2 meters long wall that you've drawn now in just 4 centimeters. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes lots and 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 lots of sense.
Okay, so are we going to try and draw in scale then, Adam?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing your drawing and your model in scale then.
I'm not being scaled though, so still don't understand.
Okay, I think Amir is not understanding either.
Yeah.
Should we run through it again? Do you think, Carolina, do you want to try?
Yeah, let's do. So if you have a wall, as I was saying, that's 200 centimeters tall. If you were to draw it in 1 to 50 scale, it would only be 4 centimeters. So you divide the 200 by 50.
Use a calculator if you want to, or you can just, when you draw the 1 centimeter, you can count 50. So 1 centimeter, 50, 2 centimeters, 100.
Yeah.
3 centimeters, 150, and then 4 centimeters, 200. Yeah, so that will make it a little bit easier for you. There is 100 centimeters in 1 meter, so that will also help you. So 100 centimeters for 1 meter will be 2 centimeters. Say you want to do 4 meters, because you know that 2 centimeters in 1 is 1 meter, you can just double that. That's an easier way to do it.
Equal 800.
Is that
anyone
clear now?
Clear now?
This is my stick.
It's okay, no worries. If we don't get it, if you want to try the scale, just tell us again when you're doing your model and we'll try explain it again.
Yeah.
All right? Okay, so moving on. You have 25 minutes to build your model. Good luck, guys. Everyone has their model?
Making materials. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it, guys. Have fun. If you want me to put up any examples, let me know. I'll just go back and I'll show you the examples. Actually, let me put it on for you. If you want to see a certain example, I'll show you. I'll put it up for you, okay? Good luck, guys. Let's check the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect,
Yeah,
guys. See, let me just this.